The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus began to reproach the town where most of his mighty deed has done, since they had not repented. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! For if the mighty deed done in your midst has been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would long ago have repented in sackcloth and ashes. But I tell you, it will be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon on the day of judgment than for you. As for you, Capernaum, will you be exalted to heaven? Will you go down to the netherworld? For if the mighty deed done in your midst has been done in Sodom, it will have remained until this day. But I tell you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom on the day of judgment than for you. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Be patient. Yeah, here we go. Today we just have found one of those readings that will help you and will provide names for you for all the baptisms that are coming to your family. So I really enjoy the Bible, my friends. So you could start thinking of Ahaz, Jotham, Uzziah, Rezin, Pekah, Remaliah. And there you go. Very interesting. If you have any problems getting names, just go search for me. I will tell you all the chapters. I would like to take the last line of the first reading because actually it covers the rest of the entire reading. Because if we start just like to research a little bit in there, it's going to be a little bit tough because of all those wars and decisions that they are presenting in the Old Testament. But the Lord, at the end of that reading from the prophet Isaiah, he's telling, unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. That is the first line to taking to memory. So what is the Lord asking there? First of all, we have a definition for this life, and it is that we are walking by faith. The second, it is that Peter is telling that this life, it's like a mirror in which you are not able to see well the things that are far, only the things that are close to you, just like a mirror. You're able to check your eyes, your pimples, all your stuff, right? But the things that are far from that mirror, you're not able to see that. Peter uses that example, telling today and then this time we are still like watching the life and all the mysteries like in a mirror. But Peter also says there will be the time that you're going to see God face to face. So we're having kind of like two conditions in here. Walking by faith. Why? Because nobody can prove to you or present to you right away God. Only by faith. For example, the Holy Eucharist. For the priest and for you, it is bread and wine. And you taste, and it's bread and wine. But we believe in the words of the Lord. Take and eat, because this is my body, this is my blood. That involves faith. Last line. So it is telling in that reading, unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. So what is the faith also involving for us to get it like firm? Because that could be like the adventure that we are receiving in that first reading. So now I understand that my faith needs to be firm. But how am I going to do that? The gospel is coming to our help. And the Lord, it's in some ways given admonitions to the towns that he's visiting again. And he's telling, I did marvelous wonders in your life, in this town. And now you don't have faith. So in the day of judgment, it's going to be very hard for you. But inside that I just said, there's a secret for us to get firm. And it is to use the capacity to remember. To remember. And remember, it has something very, very special. I'm going to move from English to Latin, so it will help us to understand, okay? Remember, it is a word that in Latin it is said ricor, ricordare. It's also in Italian the same way, ricordare. In Latin, the word cor, C-O-R, it's your heart. Cor cordis. So, recor, cor is your heart, record, it is to bring back to your heart. Now we go back to English. Remember, it is the same word, to bring the memories, your experience, back to your heart, to make them alive. Again, in other words, that it's the way to get the faith firm. I will give you examples. If you remember that there's a horrible neighborhood down there, down the hall, right? Because you were there last week, are you going to go back to the horrible neighborhood? Or you're going to take your car and we go around? Why are you making that decision? Because you remember. If you are in the countryside and you remember that there's a wonderful tree that it's always given the best oranges, and it is in a public zone, it is not of the neighbor, where are you going to walk? You go to the tree because you remember you will get your nice orange. Why? Because you remember, you see? So that is the step to get the faith firm. The Lord is telling, I was doing wonders in your town, and you don't believe. Why? Because they no longer remember. So, that guy healed a lot of people, but it was a Tuesday, and who cares? That was the problem of them. Instead of that, if they were connected to that, like, wow, the wonders of God in my life, the wonders of the Lord visiting my village, those wonders, the Lord comes back, and all that people were still with all the wonders of the faith. So today, homily, it's not so long, but it has something to really, really to consider. And it is that line, once again, of first reading, telling, unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. It is a little bit negative, so we need to transform that a little bit more positive. The phrase could be more, if your faith is firm, you shall be firm. How am I going to get firmer? Remember. Connect your memory. Remember the graces of God. Once again, they become alive through your heart.